Y'all really let the guy that does all this talking get his own podcast? Get it together, man. Yo, what's up, ladies and gents? Wherever you are, morning, night, evening, afternoon, middle of the day, whatever it is, greetings. I pray that you've been doing well. We chilling. We here with another episode of Getting It Together with Big Ma, and third episode with I think this is my third episode with my candle lit. We got the vibe set. We in the dark. We grounded. We centered, and we're clear. I want to hop into this episode very quickly, just because I don't know. I'm just excited for this one. I'm excited to talk about this. Let's talk about it, man. Do you know how, or you should know how heavy it is when carrying luggage? It is so hard when you have so much things in your luggage or so much things in your backpack, and you got that thing on your back, and you're walking with it, you're traveling with it, and it's so heavy, and it's like, oh my God, I really wish I could put this down, or I really wish that I didn't have so much stuff in here that I had to carry. And sometimes the things are necessary, and some things are not so necessary to have in your backpack, in your luggage. In life, we all carry some type of baggage, some type of luggage, and we are carrying that luggage, and we need to unpack it. We need to deal with it. We need to lighten our load. When you are walking around and harboring so much trauma, so much negativity that is not your fault, it can just weigh you down so much, and it'll affect the way that you go about your relationships. It'll affect the way that you think, the way that you operate, and it's hard. It's very hard, and I say that I'm speaking from a place of experience. And my goodness, it'll derail you. I spent so much time in my early 20s being upset with my father for his lack of presence. I spent so much time just being angry, and sometimes I would lash out at my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time. I would lash out at my mom or my grandma. I would lash out at my friends, and it would be because I'm upset about that, or I would be upset about because I didn't take basketball seriously. Just things like that. So many things. It was different things, and it would just affect my mood. And it took me a while to learn how to unpack that luggage and how to just release that anger, release those emotions, and just letting them go. Honestly, whenever we don't take care of those things inside of us, it could hinder what you can become, your potential in the future. Whatever you are holding on to right now, you need to deal with it. It can affect your well-being. It can affect, like I said, all of your relationships. It can affect everything. But it's not easy, and A lot of these things, our traumas and things that we have, they're not our fault. It's not on us. It's not our fault that, our parents' relationships didn't work out. It's not our fault that we had parents that were not in our lives or didn't love us correctly, the way that we were supposed to be loved as children. It's not our fault. It wasn't up to us. We didn't choose our parents. We didn't choose these different things. But the things that we can do now, we can choose how to handle ourselves now. We can choose how to work through these things in our adulthood. We have that power. But a lot of us don't know how to take that power and utilize it in the correct manner, that so that we can release them, release those emotions, and kill those demons. I found that prayer for me to let go of the things that I had on my mental, the things that I had on my spirit that were weighing me down. I found out that writing my thoughts down, whether it was just writing them down as they came, or translating them to like a poem or a song, or something like that. I found that finding people that you could talk to, that were your safe space, that didn't judge you, didn't judge your past experiences and how you were acting or how you've been feeling, goes a very long way. And that's why we have to choose our tribes, choose our friends that hopefully become family. We have to choose them wisely. I don't care what your luggage is. If you are insecure, it doesn't matter. Go out and seek the help that you need. And I found out that lately it has been impacting young people a lot more than the older crowd, and that is because everything is so accessible. If you have the potential, or if you had the ambition of becoming a pro athlete, and you're only 10, 11, 12 years old, you can go on YouTube and look up other kids from around the world that are your age, that have highlights and videos and have all this hype surrounding them. It'll make you look inside of yourself and say, wow, I wish I could be that guy. Wow, I wish that I had people that would show up for me like that, and record me and make clips of me, and make these hype videos for me. It'll make you feel some type of way. Kids these days, they have everything at their fingertips, and they're able to showcase their talents, but they're also able to showcase their lifestyle that they're living at a young age. When I was 16 years old, thinking about going to prom, I didn't have some fancy, some fancy vehicle that was brand new, that it just came out that year, that I could pull up in or get dropped off in. I didn't have the most expensive tux and the jewelry and the phones and all of the glitz and glamour that came by that comes behind it now. I was just worried about having a good time. And we weren't in that era back then. This was 2009, 2010. Now you are seeing these kids pull up in Lamborghinis and Ferraris, and they're wearing jewelry that came from Icebox. If you're not familiar with what Icebox is, go look it up. But they're familiar. I mean, they're pulling up, and you know, as if they're celebrity status. Now, to each his own. You know, if you got it like that, then you got it like that. But it leaves me speechless. And kids these days, they are just comparing themselves to that, and they're carrying that trauma, and then they're regretting the fact, or I can't even say regret. They're jealous, and they are wishing that they had what these kids had. And now adults are the same way. We look at celebrities and we get jealous. We look at other people that we know or know of, and we get jealous. We feel some type of way, and we look at their relationships. We look at the videos and pictures that they post, and we feel as if we should have that life. We wish that we were like that. That's terrible. That's a terrible way to think. That's a terrible way to be, because your life is not going to be exactly like anyone else's. But social media has conditioned us to think that. So natural. So now it's become a natural thing to compare instead of congratulate or admire or be inspired or motivated. We compare and contrast, and we look at ourselves in a negative light, and we carry that trauma into our relationships, and we lash out at people that care about us. We lash out because our lifestyle isn't like the ones that we see on Instagram, which leads to depression. And right now, this is actually data from June 16, 2003. And I'm going to read it. The age standardized prevalence of depression among U.S. adults was 18.5%. Age-specific prevalence of depression was highest among those aged 18 through 24 years of age, and the lowest among those of 65 years. And as I scroll down and I look down, even since 2019, it has been between the highest depression rates amongst us human beings have been between ages 18 and 29 years old. And it comes from social media. It comes from us not talking to someone. It comes from us shutting down. It comes from us comparing ourselves. It's so much. We have to learn how to be happy within ourselves. We have to learn how to create our own happiness. We have to learn how to go through life and just be appreciative of ourselves, of what we have, and strive and work towards the things that we desire. But we can't look at other people through the lens of jealousy and hate. We can't do that. And with me doing that research, I'm 30 years old, and I feel like I'm still in that age bracket. I am still in that, basically, because I'm only a couple of months removed from 29. So as a young person, to all my young people, that 30 and under group, especially my teenagers that are still in school, high schoolers, even middle schoolers now, you guys have to stay off social media. You guys have to stop comparing yourselves to the next person. You have to stop being jealous. But you also have to to learn how you have to learn how to be happy for other people and congratulate other people, and just remember and realize that your life is not like anyone else's life. Your life is unique. Just because they have what they have, that doesn't mean that they come from a house of love and affection. Just because they have what they have doesn't mean that you are less of a person just because you don't have what you see that they have. And even going further back than teenagers or preteens, even kids, small kids in elementary school that are already being bullied, and they're tired of being bullied and they don't have the home to go to. Please check up on these kids. Make sure that these kids are happy, and they don't have anything on their little minds that can continue to grow in their minds as they age. Make sure they're not growing up being, hating their lives, wishing that they could die, or wishing that they could run away. Make sure we're doing a great job of unpacking that luggage. If you have to go to therapy, pay for the therapy. If you have to talk to someone, you have to let that out. It is not a good thing to hold in any type of emotions that you are feeling. It's only gonna continue to grow, and it's gonna catch up to you. And before you know it, you could be standing in the middle of your house pointing a gun to your head, or you have a knife at your throat, or you're ready to jump off a bridge. Take your time out of your life to fix your life before it affects you in the worst way possible, before it affects your peers, your family, your spouse, your kids. You have to want to be as positive as possible. You have to want to be as pure as possible. You have to know that if these things don't get dealt with, it's only going to get worse. And you'll sink so low as to the fact that you won't know how to get up out of it. And it'll even affect the way you receive love. You'll choose to just allow anything to happen in your life, and you'll choose to just allow people to treat you any way that they want to treat you, all because you don't care about yourself. It's time that you start caring about yourself. Whatever demons that you have in the closet, open that closet out and deal with them. Can you truly look yourself in the mirror and say that you are happy with the type of person you are, or the type of person that you're becoming? Can you truly look in the mirror and say, I love myself? Or do you have to go out and pretend and put on a mask, and then when you come home you take that mask off, and then you become whoever you truly are in that season, in that moment, that trauma affected person, full of emotions. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it's a motorcycle outside going through the neighborhood. So I apologize if you can hear that. But like I said, unpack that luggage. You don't need to carry that weight. You don't deserve to carry that weight. And if someone ever told you that you deserve it, or you should be carrying trauma, you should be carrying these things, for God's sakes, let them go and realize and remember, and please know in your heart that you can give that luggage to God. Deal with it. Let it go. Unlearn bad behaviors. Unlearn toxic ways. Change the narrative up. Change your narrative up today. Don't wait until tomorrow. Don't wait until you have more money to get a therapist. You don't have to start with a therapist. You don't have to start with money. You can start on the inside. You can do it right now. And when you unlearn those behaviors, when you cleanse your life, when you cleanse your spirit, guess what? Your relationships will improve. You will receive an abundance of blessings. Your spirit will seem lighter. You will seem lighter. I promise you. You have what it takes. You just have to believe it. It's Big Mall. Let's unpack this luggage together, okay? God loves you. I love you. You love you. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.